What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Real Housewives of Atlanta star Cynthia Bailey is officially a married woman again for the second time. She married Mike Hill. I believe she's his third or fourth wife. I know he's had a couple wives. He cheated on all of them, but that's besides the point. Well, talk show host Wendy Williams is not too happy about them choosing to have a 250-person wedding in the middle of Atlanta in the middle of a damn pandemic, and I can't say that I blame Wendy one bit. She opened up her segment of the show talking about this wedding by saying, and I quote, "Congratulations to selfish Cynthia and her husband Mike Hill. I don't like how Cynthia gets all of the blame. It should be Mike Hill as well. Selfish Cynthia should also mean selfish Mike Hill." She said, and I quote, "They insisted for whatever reason this date 10/10/2020 is like a big deal to her. But they got a country club in Atlanta where everybody's coughing like 250 guests. They said that they have the squirt fountains for the disinfectant, they had masks and also the shields, and they're checking temperatures. But I watched the videos, I saw the photos. Yes, people would sporadically wear their masks and their shields and stuff like that, but not for the entire ceremony and certainly not for the entire night. So it's almost like they might as well have never put them on in the first place. It was all just for display, which I do think is a very valid criticism that I definitely had myself as well. Why people who are on their like third, fourth weddings are, and especially like this much older in life, are insisting on having big weddings. You know, it makes no sense. You know, like, I don't get it. Like, you've already been married, both of you have. He's been married like what, 3-4 times at this point. It's really not this huge 250 person deal anymore, in my opinion. And you guys are older, you know, 50 plus, in the middle of a pandemic that is more dangerous for people in your age group. So what are you doing? And then Cynthia, I believe her mom was in attendance. So her mom is what, like in her 70s or something, in a big event of 250 plus people. Her friends, Candy and Portia, just had children who aren't even 1 year old. What are they doing? You know, like at this big super spreader wedding. It's nothing surprising when it comes to Candy and Portia. They've been running around as if there is no pandemic, despite the fact that they have very young children at home. But it's still disappointing to see nonetheless that they would continue on with this trend. There also was a story about a lot of crazy shenanigans happening at Cynthia's bachelorette party. I think it was on Friday night or something like that, where allegedly Portia and allegedly Tanya both hooked up with a stripper. I covered that on my channel membership side because it's a little bit way too NSF for a video on my main channel. But yeah, there's just a lot of mess surrounding these women. They really don't care about the current status of the world at all, you know, when it comes to health. But then Wendy's criticism of Cynthia kind of took more of what I would consider to be a bitter turn of events, because she then started digging into Cynthia and Mike's finances. She goes, you know, how could they even afford this? She's just a Real Housewife. He's just a sportscaster, which, you know, is very irrelevant to the entire situation, in my opinion. Sure, Cynthia is a star in the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I believe she gets paid at least $800,000 a year to appear on that show. She's also got her like line of wine coolers. She's got a winery. She has like an apparel and accessories collection. She's still models. She's got the Bailey agency that she owns. She's got a lot of different, you know, things to make money. She was lending Peter money for bar none all these years on Housewives of Atlanta. So she seems to be, outside of that decision, of course, quite good with saving money. You know, she probably has a lot of other investments that we don't know about. And then when it comes to her husband, Mike Hill, same thing. Sure, he might be paying all those ex-wives a little bit of alimony, but outside of that, he could also be investing in a lot of different things. We don't know about the stocks, the bonds, the retirement savings he's got, like maybe he owns property. So it's just, you know, let's not pocket watch people here and just stick to the real thing that was irresponsible, which is having a 250 people plus wedding in the middle of a pandemic when it's like your millionth wedding. It really is, you know, not very considerate of anybody's health. And I agree with Wendy that just a small, simple ceremony, even if it's just the two of them, and then later having their big grand wedding would have been nice. But yeah. And speaking of this story taking a bitter, more negative turn, Wendy kind of finished up her segment about Cynthia and Mike's wedding by counting down to their divorce. And it kind of felt like, listen, these people just got married. Why are you already throwing out the D word? She actually said, and I quote, "Cameras will ruin a marriage, and I feel like this marriage will only last for at the most 3 years, because they're going to have all Bravo involved. I don't know what it will be, but something will come up. Again, I feel like ever since Wendy went through her own divorce with her philandering husband, she's been like especially mean when it comes to other people's love stories and marriages and things like that, and pessimistic. And I totally get why she would be like that, but I hope that in the future she does kind of dial it down a little bit, because it's just not good karma, it's not good juju to be wishing this kind of misery on other people, because it'll always come back to you tenfold. Guys, how do you feel about Wendy's coverage of Cynthia and Mike's wedding that happened this past weekend? Is she right about them being selfish to have a 250 plus wedding in the middle of a pandemic? And did she veer off course when she started talking about when they'll probably get divorced in her idea, and like, you know, wondering how they even afforded it, and like talking down on their careers? Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.